Hello there! Welcome to It's a Long Story, a place where we roll dice, we tell stories, and we create magic. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here with the beautiful, the Brasslight. Everybody take a look at your camera, wave, and say howdy.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hello.
Very excited for tonight. I got. You know what? Actually, hold on. I'm just gonna do this real quick because that music, while very Western, is just a little too lazy. I think we need something that's gonna be like maybe hopefully a little bit more inspiring. Unfortunately, there's a long build up, so I'm just gonna keep talking until it comes up. Just make sure it's coming up. Okay, there it is. Good. Awesome. Hi. For those that have no idea what this is, hi, we are a D&D live stream that runs every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, having 5 parties, living, existing, breathing. Jumping, leaping away from the possible horrible crash of the Brasslight, flaming to a stop into their beloved town of Rustwater in the same homebrew world, the wonderful, beautiful world of Astera. If you are, if this is the first time you're watching this, welcome. Let's do fantasy. Let's play it's fantasy time. Here we go. We are, for the month of November, no big things on the horizon, so I will just say to everybody here the same spiel that I normally do as far as the social media stuff goes. If this is your first time watching the channel, or your second or your third, or you haven't decided yet, but you want to support you may want to support the channel, the best way to do so is to like and subscribe where you are watching this, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch, or I can't think of any other ones. We did the Kazaa, LimeWire. If you're watching on your Zune, if you're watching on your Macintosh, if you have this downloaded to 50 floppy disks, those are the only reasons why you wouldn't be able to hit the like and follow to subscribe. And please do. We really appreciate it. You can also check out our Instagram and TikTok down below at it's a long story _TTRPG. You can check out some of our favorite moments, some clips that we thoroughly enjoyed that were funny, emotional, impactful, as well as showing some of the live terrain stuff that we've had over the course of 3.5 years that we've been doing this. So, and if you want to like and subscribe there, hey, yeah, awesome, cool, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And that's it. That's all I got. So we are ready to jump into tonight. Before we do, we need to get a recap of where we left off. And I believe, Kiki, it is your turn. So please take it away.
Yeah, so last session we began with Timony. English is really hard right now.
Timony.
Timothy.
Who's Timony? Who's Timony?
Timony.
Real quick, making an NPC called Timony.
Gotta change it. Okay. Timothy assessing the damage to the Brasslight engine. While he's assessing the damage, a small brass board named Pike, who is adorable and we will absolutely adopt at one point, helps him push the beast off of the engine. Meanwhile, Lysandra is rushing around town trying to help whoever she can. She aids a shopkeeper who swears up and down that she's an angel. She heals him with magic, which does not help her case. Back in the saloon, Ophelia is having a minor panic attack after all of the chaos that happened. Well, Rasa tries in his own way to calm her nerves. Vera also tries to help. Blair interrupts Ophelia's breakdown, kind of. Essentially being like, hey, the train's on fire. What are we going to do about that? Which Ophelia points out, you're wanted by the railway authorities. Why do you care? And then Ophelia just continues to try to figure out how Blair is a criminal and why. Lysandra eventually comes in, heals Blair, and then turns to heal Rasa. His magic answers her own in a weird kind of way. And she whispers something in Primordial, which he weirdly understands like a couple words from, if I'm not mistaken, but not all of it. Vera gets kind of defensive and feral about about Lysandra with Rasa. And eventually, I said turning to Blair to heal herself twice. Wow, I can't even do notes well.
You're doing great.
Blair asked Lysandra if she had anything to do with the blast, redirecting the burden of guilt upon her. And Blair points out eventually that Blair points out Saul, and then the other two begin exchanging verbal blows. From the corner of the bar, Ophelia is eavesdropping on the conversation, listening to all the juicy bits about Saul, Lysandra, and Blair. She catches that Blair is not telling the entire truth, but she can't pick up on much more, and she gets absolutely nothing from Lysandra. Timothy, Rasa, and Pike head out towards the stables in search of Eli, and they eventually gather the young man and tell him to go help out to repair the inn, while also searching for Jericho. They eventually find Jericho. I'm sorry. Timothy asked Rasa about somebody named Harrow at first, but Rasa has a weird vision about a dark saloon, and it's very unhelpful. And then Jeb's there. We don't really care about Jeb. Jeb's there. They eventually send Eli off towards the Dust Bowl, finding Jericho, who has been hiding in the hayloft for, as far as we know, the entire time. We know nothing about him, his aid, or his usefulness. He just keeps hiding, and he's very scared of Timothy, and we adore him. Back in the Dust Bowl, Saul and Ophelia start talking. Saul decides that Ophelia is the person to buy horses from and gives her some money, and Ophelia immediately sees how she can hustle that, and takes the opportunity. He recognizes her from when she traveled south from Madura, and she attempts to ply him for more information, but doesn't seem to get very far. Lysandra tries to call him out over the mental link, and he kind of tells her to fuck off a little. Eventually, Ophelia finds Vera, and the two kind of make a plan on buying the horses and making out with some money on it. And Ophelia says she doesn't want any, like, financial return. She wants Vera's help, kind of creating that partnership with her. And Vera takes off to acquire horses for Saul and his compatriot. Eventually, Ophelia turns to Blair and offers to help her with taking care of the whole "you're wanted by the railway authorities" issue, and the two depart. Now, with no PCs in the room, Kenneth turns to Lysandra and starts spouting his conspiracy theories. Well, she kind of dismisses him and turns to Saul. He makes her a drink, and she notices on his kerchief the initials AH. She tries to get his surname out of him, but he is obstinate. Back at the stables, Jericho tries to quietly pull up the ladder and fail. Well, I cannot speak today, y'all. He fails miserably. Recognizing Jericho's nervousness, but misplacing its origin, Timothy, who Jericho is afraid of, tries to calm him down. Fortunately, Vera bursts in and interrupts that while they're trying to shoe Jeb's horse. And she asks to purchase two horses, which Jericho reluctantly admits that he has one horse that he adores, that is just old as shit and broke, but she's available for sale because he has nothing else to offer, and he seems to not be able to say no to people. So he says he'll get her ready, and they tell her this is Jeb's horse, we can't do anything about it, and she announces that she'll take care of Jeb and takes off. Back outside, Ophelia and Blair approach the conductor, who introduces himself as Eliwa. What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm having a stroke, I swear. Silas Bronwyn. Ophelia starts out with some kind of flirtations and then begins to name drop who she is and kind of claims Blair as an agent of the Hargraves and tells him maybe he should look elsewhere for his perpetrators, pointing out that Saul and his companions are pretty suspicious. And Silas is like, you know what? Yeah, I'll buy it for a copper. And he takes it and lets the authorities know that he's going to make an arrest. While Blair and Ophelia head back to the bar, satisfied that they have successfully redirected the burden of guilt to Saul. Back at the barn, Jericho slowly walks his beloved horse from the barn towards the stable, or towards the inn, with Timothy trailing behind. And as we move back to the inn itself, Saul, Ophelia, Blair, Kenneth, Eli, everybody's there. Eli is smitten with the new women. He can't handle himself. He's incapable and incompetent. We're not sure. Both. Jericho slowly creeps up to the bar, terrified of people, tries to sneak his way unsuccessfully through the bar, is noticed immediately by Ophelia, who also gets nothing but the fact that he's really creepy, and sends her little spider to go spy on him as a little spy spider, a little spooter. Lysandra, not able to pick up on social cues, immediately goes and introduces herself directly to Jericho. And he asks her if she knows anything about the tremors, to which she says, I'll get back to you about that tomorrow. Blair and Ophelia hang out at the bar, Blair kind of questioning how Ophelia handled the conductor, and Ophelia basically saying, yeah, you know, you owe me one now. Enjoy that. And eventually Vera burst in, a little roughed up from her negotiations with Jeb, and tells Saul that his ride is ready, just as Cody 1 and Cody 2 enter. They place Saul under arrest, which he seems to surrender without comment. And as he is exiting, they're walking towards the train, he turns and shoots Cody 1 in the head. And he jumps on the horse trying to flee. Lysandra is able to dash out and try to restrain the horse, but Ophelia's magic spoils that, causing the horse to startle and dash away, leaving Lysandra on the ground and Saul on the run. And that's it. As chaotic as that was.
It was a lot. Very, very nice.
That was
very
a
good.
lot.
Thank you very much, Kiki. Anything we want to or need to add, friends?
Awesome job, Kiki. I'm just going to add the horse's name is Tabitha.
Tabitha.
That's right.
Blair
Tabitha's
took a
still
little
there.
piece of Ignite.
Oh yeah, Blair did take some Ignite.
Yes. Cool. Well, great. Anything else? All right. Awesome. Cool. Well, I think I am somewhat ready. I will get there. But we are flying. We're here. So you guys ready to play some D&D?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Give me D&D, please. Thank you.
Give me some ball.
Yeah,
Well,
I have some more.
this is getting weird. Here we go. We dive in, coming into the sound of howling wind, the wispiness of the umber rushing through our ears as we are coming into a situation of a figure that is, a town that is very much alive in a way that it most likely hasn't been in a very long time. We see now at this point the fire from the Brasslight has now calmed down into a steady smoke that is billowing out. We see figures of every shape and size, most of which looking like they are of some money, that are kind of looking off in fear and terror in the distance of their ticket out to the northern places have had them or have them now stuck in a place that most would consider to be maybe a little bit beneath them. Looking through from the faces as they all turn, a couple of them turn and look at the Rustwater, which is actually looking worse than Rustwater normally looks, as it is, as it has one, maybe two people that are actively working to try to fix up the already dilapidated buildings surrounding that is just recovering from a recent Emberback attack. As this is all going on, we are going to zoom in to a specific saloon, the Dust Bowl, as we see figures that are sitting around what now looks to be not crowded, but definitely full, as you all have kind of found a place to be settling in. Some of you may be sitting together, as there are tables, chairs that are around here. A couple of them you have to dust off by hand, but there are larger tables here, and obviously there is the bar up front. So as we pass along, and some of you guys may not be here, this is we're going to say this is coming from probably about maybe 20 minutes to a half an hour, unless there's something specific you wanted to make sure was cleared up from our previous session. There is Cody 1 and Cody 2. Cody 2 actually kind of carried Cody 1 back into the Brasslight, but so far there has not been any word from Silas or any of them as far as the condition or what is happening next. So, as we zoom in, we're gonna do this in. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do this in kind of like the backwards order that we might have done it before. And
Can
so
I
we're
just
gonna
ask
start.
about table?
Yes.
Did nobody know that Ophelia cast magic to help Saul escape? Because that's kind of a big deal if Lysandra knows she cast magic to help him escape.
Most people were inside, I think, and so then they didn't see.
That's a good point. Well, because
She cast
Ophelia
magic
was also
onto
inside.
Lysandra.
Yeah. All right, cool. So that's a good point. All right, so we'll start right from that moment. Just for.
I mean, if Lysandra didn't know, she just didn't know. That's why I was asking.
Lysandra
if she
definitely
knew
knows. Yeah, for sure.
that
that's a good
Ophelia
point.
cast magic.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's no way that I don't. Yeah, you definitely know. So for clarification, Ophelia. To be quite honest with you, just from my sort of recalling on this, I believe you cast command, which has that verbal component. And then was there something else that you cast as well?
Just as beguiling magic, so it's almost like a echo of the first spell. I used frighten on the horse.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
That's
so
how he got away, yeah.
Yeah, so that might not have been picked up, but the command definitely did. So Ophelia, what was the words that you said?
I yelled, "Drop it!"
Okay, cool. So with that, Ophelia, coming right from that moment, we see Saul going off into the distance, heading north, racing as fast as that horse can go, and we see those that are in the bar. I imagine there's going to be a few eyes that are definitely on you, as Lysandra is dealing with the what's happening outside. Ophelia, what is your response here? What are you trying to hide what you did?
No, and I definitely can't hide it from Lysandra. So, I think the first thing I do once the horse gets scared and everyone's kind of distracted looking at Lysandra wrestling with the horse, I would like to cast message and talk to Raza very quickly
Okay.
and just say very, very quietly under my breath, what am I gonna say? It's Ophelia. Um, whatever happens next, go along with me. I promise I will explain right after. It has to do with saving Rustwater, please. And then if I have time, I'm going to do the same thing to Vera.
Okay, I trust you. Better be good.
Give me a persuasion check on Vera.
I'm
gonna say straight roll.
As what's his name's leaving on the horse, Blair's gonna go, "Oh no, he escaped."
Yeah, I love it. We're gonna go around and like have there because there's reactions to all of this. This is specifically just making sure that we're understanding Ophelia's how Ophelia's next moves are gonna be received.
22 on the persuasion.
22. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So Ophelia, you message that, send that out to both of them. You see Vera kind of giving you a suspicious look at this point. I believe also behind the counter, but kind of. I think it's going to take this moment to slowly sort of start to walk around the bar to sort of like make her way outside, unless you. Yeah, I'll say let's pause there. So for everybody else here, you guys have no idea what Ophelia is doing besides Rasa. You did hear, for those of you who are casters, you definitely recognize that there was some spell that was being cast. For those of you are not casters, I'd say there's probably a check involved for that. So yes, I think Rasa will kind of like pause with you and Lysandra. Your situation is actually very specific, so I'm going to pause with you as well. So Timothy, what are your thoughts, your immediate response, things like that?
I have Timothy has no idea what's going on. He came back to fix up the place, and he just came up like there's a big commotion going on. He has no idea what's going on.
Okay. So do you think Timothy just goes back to working?
Yeah.
Cool.
However, he's also kind of thinking back. So, when he first met Lysandra before this whole commotion, she had mentioned him as a warforge. So he's just kind of thinking about that. He's like, I have to talk to her about that, but
okay.
I have to fix this first.
We'll say, okay, so in this moment, I think so Eli, who's like right next to you, is now like kind of like holding this like ball peen hammer, now standing up and looking wide-eyed at the situation, then sees Timothy just like turn and just go back to work on it, and Eli just kind of just follows suit, truly like kind of like ducks out of the way, like this doesn't involve me. Beautiful. Jericho, what's your response to the situation?
Yeah. This is Jericho's worst nightmare right now embodied. I'm assuming Jericho has not been in this tavern enough to know where the back exit is, and the only exit is where all of the commotion is occurring. So he is trapped. There's a moment of pause as he noticed Ophelia casting magic, and as a magic user, he's been so careful not to do it in public. So careful to try and hide his usage of magic in the sense that, like, hopefully no one knows that he uses magic in town, because that's such an uncommon thing as he feels it, that he's a little shocked and taken back and scared that much more. I believe you said that this place has a second story. Is that correct, Joe?
Yes, it does. Yep.
So he's going to go right into natural impulses. He would hide on the second floor of the stables if he had an option. doesn't have that, but he's still going to the second floor, so he is scampering up.
Are you? Yeah, I would say, are you like running up to the second floor?
Running up to the second floor.
Cool. I like it. Beautiful. Blair.
Can I see if Blair would notice that Ophelia used magic?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Give me an Arcana check.
That didn't count. It rolled off the table. That's gonna be a 11.
11. 11 is just enough where you get the idea this person seems to have some proclivity to magic. Blair, your understanding of how magic works truly would be only in like the most basics of artifice, of like magical items and things like that. But you're very much a child of the times of looking at things as, or at least having the teachings of things that have revolved around the idea of magic's a very dangerous sort of source. We want to be using things that are more, that are going to work the same way every time. So you just barely know that, like, you know that is magic. You don't know what type of magic. You don't really know what the cause of this was. Like, I would say with an 11, you're not even entirely sure where it was directed.
Blair's just leaning against the like door frame, watching this the whole time. But she's just like fiddling with her gloves and winding something up, waiting.
Okay, you got it. All right, and Lysandra.
Lysandra just had magic cast on her, then lost control of a horse and kicked in the chest. So she's sitting on her ass in the dirt. Yeah. Angry and very confused about everything that just happened. Because why would somebody just randomly choose to help a murderer?
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a religion check.
$14.
Ooh, nice. So, so for reminders of the newbies, a lot of times I like to use religion checks also as like kind of like culture checks, for the idea of like understanding how the way of a certain sort of group of people would work and handle things. In this case, Lysandra with a 14, that is enough to sort of recognize there is. I'll say actually for, I think clarity's sake, give me a perception check DC 11.
It's a natural one.
Okay.
Oh wait, I have inspiration. I did the recap.
Yeah, you do.
Do I want to waste it on this?
I'll tell you it is related. I'll tell you what it's related to. It's related to the idea of who cast it on you.
No, I'm not going to waste it on this. There might be more important things later.
You got it. Oh man, that one's really rough. But I think, there's enough of a recognizing that the voice was feminine. In giving like an idea of like you're not exactly sure who it was, but it was definitely one of the females present, or the feminine voiced present. Cool, but with so that was kind of in congruence of the 14. There is a moment of like, I think the confusion does deepen a little bit, but there is a slight realization over. That overcomes you, Lysandra, in recognizing over the course of the past 24 to 36 hours, we'll say, the world is not like you thought it would be. And there is the sort of beginning I think the gears are starting to kind of move a little bit into the beginning of understanding that I think possibly in Lysandra's case, it's there are choices here to either accept, educate, or punish. And those are hard choices. But it is clearly, you're clearly not in Kansas anymore. With this information, Lysandra, do you think you kind of like spend like a solid sort of space down here, or do you start to kind of like pick yourself up?
I think she would start picking herself up. Yeah.
All right. Okay. First person you see as you pick yourself up is actually you'll see both Blair. Blair, you said you're by the door, and you see Vera kind of like coming out to like peer out to come closer to what's going on. You see her kind of like looking at you, and possibly just about to say something when Ophelia, whatever your plan is, goes into effect.
Well, my plan was dependent upon, I thought Lysandra would know it was me and I would have a sword in my face. So,
Sure.
Sensing that, watching Lysandra, I think I do get the sense that she knows something happened, but she doesn't necessarily know who, what, where, when. So I'm just going to nonchalantly pour Raza some whiskey, looking, as unconcerned as possible.
Okay, I'm going to say we should probably have a roll on that too. We'll say it is a low DC for your understanding of like human sort of like reactions to things. So we'll say give me an insight check. I'm going to say DC 11. You're muted for some reason.
I got a 10.
There we go. 10. Okay. You think Lysandra knows it's you?
I'm still gonna nonchalantly try and look innocent and pour Raza whiskey and say, and tell him, I still need you to trust me. Let's go in the back room. See if he'll follow me.
Yeah.
Would I have gotten into the room before she decided to leave the room?
If you think you're like trying to like hurry yourself in there.
Yeah, she was gonna stand up and then walk in very calmly, but her eyes are glowing pretty brightly, and she would have just turned to like the direction of the three feminine presenting persons in the room and just be like, why?
So Ophelia, you're just at a spot of like you're just about to sort of like hide yourself before Lysandra comes into the door.
I wasn't hiding. I was sauntering to the back room.
Okay.
But
cool.
Anyway.
Sauntering.
So I do hear her say why.
Yeah. I think at this point you do actually see it's she's not looking at anyone in particular, right?
Yeah. I'm just gonna give her and then gesture towards Raza and say one of the Emberbacks got in through this, crashed into the back door. Can you go look at it? And then try and get him to go into the back room with me and see if it's casual enough.
Okay, I'll agree. I know something's up, so I'll.
I mean, if
follow
you're trying
it, yeah.
to leave, you're one of the potential suspects here, so.
Yeah.
Can
You go
Jericho? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Well, yeah.
I'm upstairs, but can I see or hear any of this going on?
In my vision of this, you are through the words.
We're 100% on the same page. Like that's what I'm picturing. Is like he's still keeping an eye out, but just like upstairs, hiding in the rafter, in the railing, but
Yeah.
so I can see and hear this.
Yes.
Okay, so when Lysandra comes in and who, like, why, and is asking, like, seems like they don't know who did it. Jericho's going to activate his awakened mind.
Okay.
And that allows me to telepathically communicate with a creature of my choice.
Beautiful.
I don't believe there's nothing descriptive in this about it being magical in any way. Of course, it's whatever. So, like, I'm assuming there's nothing that would give it as a tip showing that I would be doing this. But I'm just going to communicate to Lysandra. It was the bartender was the one that I don't know why.
My eyes snap towards Ophelia.
Well, Vera's the bartender, technically.
Oh, well.
But Ophelia's the one behind the bar.
Let's go with bartender.
Lysandra has never once seen Vera behind the bar, to be fair.
Really? Oh,
Vera
okay,
has
yeah.
never been behind the bar. Ophelia has.
To be precise, it's the bartender by Rasa.
Yeah.
Also, be careful of Timothy.
She looks straight at Ophelia. Why? I'm just trying to understand why you would choose to aid a murderer.
Me? You're his girlfriend. I was trying to stop you from helping him.
I don't think we were friends. We met 20 minutes ago.
Honey, I watched you exchange countless meaningful stares with that man. You came in with him, half of them smoldering, even before he left. You're not going to convince anybody here that you're not in something with that guy. I'm really sorry. I realized by the end, especially when he left you, I'm sure that did not feel good. But I really was trying to help the situation. I thought you were grabbing those horses to help him escape.
That is a bald-faced lie, and you are either stupid or incompetent if you think people would believe that. Someone holding a horse while another individual is kicking it to try and run away, and you thought they were assisting.
I told you to drop it. I saw you grab reins of a horse. I don't know what else to tell you. I tried to help the situation. I'm sorry that you're in the situation that you're in. But none of us are stupid here either. You've been spending the whole afternoon with this man in the bar. I don't know how we're supposed to believe that he's somehow your enemy or you're not with
magic
that guy.
on me to let him go.
For you to drop the reins, honey. That's
to let him go. Do you understand? Dropping the reins enables him to run.
I was doing my best from inside here. I don't know what else to tell you.
I am asking for a simple answer. Why?
I just told you why. Are you just going to keep saying this to me over and over again? I gave you the reason.
Until I get a truthful answer, why would you allow a murderer to run?
Okay. All right, everybody. I guess it's time that I should probably take things over in my own bar. Okay. Lysandra, as she puts a hand up to Lysandra's shoulder. Wait, does she know Lysandra's name? You.
No, yeah.
And you, we're gonna go in the back room and we're gonna handle this like civilized ladies. Because, for one thing, miss, you know, there could be more than smoldering looks. Sometimes you just need to get you need to do things to make sure that you get what you want, and that
There
is
was nothing smoldering. I do not have a fever.
Okay.
Could I just point out something here real quick?
Yes, Rasa, please be a voice of reason.
I marked him, and I can track him. And he's going out in the desert, and there's not much out there.
See? Great. Rasa marked him and tracked him. And I don't know what that means, but obviously we got magic that's going over here left and right, so maybe you guys know what that means. And you can, I just don't...
I'm just trying to understand why someone would choose to aid a murderer.
Well, that is a very... Kenneth, we're going upstairs. If you mess with my bar, any of you, Timothy,
Yes,
Just-
sir.
make sure they don't mess up the bar.
No problem, Vera.
All right, you guys hash it out with no violence to the bar. Kenneth, come on. And
I'm
she's
just gonna walk closer to Ophelia as soon as Vera leaves.
Calm down,
Just
calm down.
Trying to understand why.
I have told you 3 times now. I apologized. I told you. I realized when he was leaving you that I got the situation wrong. But I really thought you were heading out there to go with him with those horses. I made the wrong call. But also, you're trying to convince me that I'm crazy for thinking that you were with that man or you had some kind of relationship with him. I'm going to say it again. I'm sorry that I made the wrong call. I can't do anything about it
That's
now.
on if she's sorry about the choices she's made.
yeah, insight versus deception.
21.
Ooh,
I'm not going to beat a bard's deception, though.
21's pretty
17
good.
plus 9.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
jeez,
not going to beat a
okay.
bard's deception. That's what I'm saying. I hope you understand that there is a man dead on that train who was killed in cold blood because you let him escape. And Ophelia's going to turn and go to start helping Timothy.
Sorry, this is just above board. So Lysandra does believe that Saul did
I
it.
believe that you regret the choices you made. So she's laying out why you should regret that even more a little bit. Because he killed somebody in cold blood on the train.
I look very chastened, yeah. You're right, I reacted far too quickly. If you still want that glass of water, I'll get it for you.
I hope you can make some kind of penance towards the family of the man who was killed on the train by the man you let escape.
I'll put some real thought into that.
Are you a lawman? Law woman?
In what capacity?
The legal capacity?
Hold on, I have to think about that.
There are people whose job that it is to handle this sort of situation, and not the
Don't
civilian.
we all have an obligation to ensure civil society remains?
Not out here.
Nope.
Not out here. We have an obligation to survive and protect our own, and that's as far as it goes.
That seems like a terrible system. A selfish system.
Well, you're new here. Hang around here long enough and you'll be with us.
I hope not.
Knock, knock, knock on the side of the... doesn't open the saloon door, just like kind of like standing, but you just see a man, probably like early 40s in a bowler hat. Hi, you guys, is this place open?
Sure, come on in.
sure
bartender's
is.
disposed right now, but yeah, maybe we should go help these people out here. How about that for a little do-good and help these people with the train for a little bit?
Yeah, we're really, we're tired. There's a couple people that have. It's hot out there. So you want me to just kind of like rile them in here? Also, I saw that miss that took a kick from a horse right in the chest. That was crazy. So you okay? Can I do it? I probably can't do anything for you.
I will be fine. Thank you for your concern. You should rally everyone here, though.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Hey guys, they're open. Yeah.
All right, Timothy and Eli, I think we've fixed this as much as we can fix it. Let's go out here and help people get organized and get their stuff together. Get them a room.
I'm gonna message Rasa again and say, this is really important. Can I just can you come talk to me?
Okay, I'll be there in just a second. And I'll finish and then head out over to the room with Ophelia.
You got it. As you do that, you see 11 figures walk in. It is now full. All of them are fine. There's been no sort of sustaining damage. Actually, that's a good point. There was a pretty heavy sort of wreck on that. Two of them seem to have some cuts and scrapes, things like that, but that's about it. They are full on bitching and moaning about it. Everyone here is very honestly, actually very similarly dressed to how Ophelia is dressed in that very Victorian sort of era. You see people kind of walking in with canes that clearly don't need them. Yeah, very well dressed and just kind of a mixture of there's moments of disdain. And then covered quickly up about just having a moment of respite somewhere that is not under the hot sun. So Ophelia, you and Rasa go into the back room.
Yeah.
What do you got so important?
Well, I was coming to tell you this, but we got interrupted by the Emberbacks and then a train and then everything else. I need you to know two things now. One, Judge Steele, who was coming this afternoon, he is a special kind of magistrate. He's the one that the Chancellor sends out to deliver bad news. And he's a Brassborn, and they use him to deliver that bad news because when people don't take it very well, he and his security team put them down. So I needed you and Timothy to know that before anybody got into that situation, because I know you guys were wanting to get the Accords done today. Raja fully expected to kill most of the town. Now, the other big reveal is that Judge Steele is sitting dead on that train right now because somebody knew he was on there and decided to blow him up. I assume it wasn't anyone from Rustwater, but I don't know that Vrasia is going to take it that way, especially if they're already looking for a reason to wipe you out. So, that security guard that took off, I say this extremely quietly, yeah, I did scare his horse to get him away. The reason why is because if we're going to be able to save Rustwater, at least now they're prime suspect, they're going to be chasing him far away from here. Our other problem is this train that is sitting with a dead judge that was coming to talk to you in Rustwater. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to accomplish it, but you need to get this train out of Rustwater as fast as you can before anybody else from Raja decides they want to come down here. Whether it's another magistrate or the Solar Crest or anybody else. I just cannot stress enough that you need to get this out of town.
There's some hard things you're saying here, but I believe all of them. You know they don't like us here and they don't like what we've done. This is not going to be good. I think we should pull in some of the members of the town here, and we got to come up with a solution. We can't do this by ourselves. There's not enough horses in Rustwater to pull a train.
I want to help. So this isn't my specialty, but whatever I can do, even if it's helping the people out there, I'll do it for you, Raza.
I'm gonna open the door and yell for Timothy and Vera. To get in here, we got a problem we gotta solve.
Vera kind of as the rest of you. Also, Jericho, Vera is passed by you to kind of bring Kenneth up, but there was no response. But as she's kind of coming back down to the stairs, Jericho, are you still on the stairs? Same thing.
Yes, just hanging off the banister, feet sort of hanging on the edge through the whatever.
If I could see Jericho, I would invite him in, knowing he's probably not going to come in, but.
Too late. You see Vera kind of lean down, sort of coming in close with Jericho. Honey, you okay? You don't have to be here. I'm sorry. You saw me come up.
Yeah, but you just got really fast right there at the end, and I'm sorry. What did you ask? I apologize, Miss Vera.
You don't have to. You don't have to be here. There's a lot of. Oh, that's a lot of. Oh, that's a lot of. It's a lot of coin.
Coin? What do you mean? Are you
customers?
you're talking about the customer. Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. No, but a lot has happened today, and I know you're kind of the antsy. Are you okay?
Yes, Miss Vera. I'm very I'm doing okay. I appreciate you checking on me. Thank you.
Okay. Well, because Timothy's here, and maybe I was going to suggest that maybe you go back to the stables, but maybe it's best to just maybe stick closer to Timothy, dear. Just he'll protect you. And she gets back up from the stair and starts to descend back down. And immediately kind of goes into a well, hello everybody, welcome to Vera's Dust Bowl, what can I get you? And immediately kind of goes behind the bar, she already forgot that she was called, as there's business here.
All right.
Who's the other one you called?
Timothy. Yeah, Timothy. Yeah. Yep.
Jericho will just look at Timothy as I imagine he's being called by Rasa, going into the room to pass the baton off to Scott.
Yeah, I think Timothy just kind of he sees Jericho. He gives him a little wave, and he's pointing at the door, and he goes in.
Jericho, you're staying where you are?
Yes, Mr. Rasa. I'm just gonna stay right here, Mr. Rasa.
Okay, there's important things here for the town to discuss. You're a member of the town. I'd like your opinion, if it could.
Oh, what's happening in the town? Just random bowler hat guy.
Just private business. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Are you sure, Mr. Rasa?
Absolutely.
All right, I'll be right down, and I'll just like scamper down and just carefully make my way through the crowd of strangers and into this room, I guess.
Beautiful. As you're kind of maneuvering between, this is hell, Jericho. It is packed.
This is Jericho's like, God damn, why I'm a member of this town now? Now I'm a member of this town?
As Jericho comes in, Timothy actually moves over a little bit and like he kind of puts his hand down and pats Jericho on the head to like get him near him to make him feel comfortable and get him like closer in.
Cool. In the process, Jericho,
you pat Jericho right on the head.
Beautiful.
Sorry, Joe.
Well, I was just gonna say the process of Jericho, you moving through the crowd to get there, because Timothy already left, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like it's Timothy went and then Jericho went. So Jericho, you are pumping into people as you're trying to kind of like move in between. I'll say, give me. Let's do a roll to it. Let's give me a acrobatics check.
Hey Joe, I don't know if you know this about this character. They're not very strong and they're not very dexterous. So
yeah.
That's gonna be an 8.
Beautiful. Yeah, cool. There is a lot of shouts. Some from just it's the point where like where Jericho is because of the line of people that are responding to his presence as he's moving from where he's at to the back room. Blair, in the meantime, what are you doing? As there's actually a lot of people who are like looking at you and recognizing like the uniform, and I'll say there's a younger woman who is like full decked out in the like very similar to Ophelia. We'll say it's like a very like rose gold pink. As she kind of like flips out of faintness. So how long till the Brasslight is ready to go? I need to get a fan for this.
That's not my department, and I don't care.
Well, that's rather rude, don't you think? Seeing as it is exactly your job.
Not anymore. Fuck off.
Excuse me?
I'm not being paid to be polite anymore, so fuck off. I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Blair, roll me a d6, please.
D6? That's a 6.
This woman takes 6 points of psychic damage from that. Just, William, and just walks off. Beautiful. Blair, what are you up to?
Blair's still by the doorway. She did not want to interact with any of Ophelia or Lysandra's bullshit. She's got other shit on her mind.
Okay.
Her eyes have been like focused on the train. And seeing how bad it looks.
Yeah. Okay. As your eyes are passing over the train, say, give me a perception check. Give me an investigation check, actually.
17.
With a 17, you notice as you're, kind of just like eyeing along the Brasslight, you notice this strange, that sort of weird, almost like a telephone pole, right? That is kind of like jutting out of the ground, and you see that there is cables that are coming down from it into the ground, but a couple of them there seem to be loose, with some apparatus around the ends of it. You notice, I'll say with that investigation check, you notice that it seems to spark slightly as if something is kicking on. And you're about maybe like 50 feet from it.
Can I walk closer to it to do a better investigation?
How close do you get to it?
I'm like right at it, like almost on my knees, trying to like figure it out.
You don't have to be on your. It's on a telephone pole. Like it's.
Okay.
Yeah. But the as you get closer to it, you hear voices, or sorry, excuse me, a voice that is kind of has this weird sort of like buzzy sort of sound from it. Hello? Anyone? Hello? Anyone?
Hello?
Please. As you kind of like reach into it, like you kind of take it and like you hear the sound coming out. You start to kind of like place that one part to your ear, one part to your mouth. You also, I don't remember if you've seen Silas talking to this thing or not. Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yeah. Oh, thank God. Ophelia Hargrave, please.
And who is this I am speaking to?
This is her father.
Hold, please. And just gingerly, very slowly walks into the bar looking for her.
Okay. And you don't see her at the moment. I'll say, actually, you saw her go in the back, I would say. Are you going to try to make your way over there?
Yeah, I want to see, like, I'm, like, making my way through the bar.
Okay, you got it. Yeah, you're slowly making your way through the bar. All right. Lysandra, what are you up to?
Probably just helping repairs if the repairs need to be done. Still.
There is a moment actually that as you happen to be like looking around at the crowd of people here, you see there is a familiar face that comes up with several other figures behind her, as the woman that was called Jez kind of like comes up and. And it kind of like seems to be talking to the people behind her. But like it's now a crowd. People are starting to talk. There's a low hum. It's pretty hard to like hear any sort of conversation. I think, Lysandra, you're far enough away that you see her, but you don't hear her. We'll see if she sees you. She does not see you.
Okay. I don't have any healing left. I would just be helping with repairs. If I can't hear what she's saying or I don't get an indication.
Well, what's going on? I think the last time you guys discussed was like just bring your like any sort of injured
Is this
people
the shopkeeper's friend? Because we never got an image or her name, so I had no idea who Jez was.
This is the shopkeeper's daughter. You helped her father. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't get a name or an image last time, so I had no idea who you're talking about.
Oh, it's yeah. I thought I put the image through, but so can you see her now?
I see her now. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and her dad
who she
said
is now. Okay.
Yeah, her dad said in passing Jez. It was not introduced. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't remember that.
All good.
Sure. She'll approach.
Hi. Looks like you're full.
Well, this isn't my establishment.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Well, it looks like everybody else is just mostly sort of spooked, but I just figured it made more sense to try to bring them in here now.
Well, community is key after tragedy. It'd be good for drinks and shared conversation.
Yeah, I imagine those folk in there would have a different opinion on that.
Perhaps it's time somebody changed that opinion.
Well, you see another sort of sort of gruffer looking male figure, huge, like kind of huge mustache that is like that kind of comes and goes. Yeah, that's true. It is our bar after all.
And they are guests, so show them how the Rustwater welcomes guests.
Don't worry, Jez, I got this. And the figure kind of moves past as Jez is kind of just like pushed aside and just, okay, all right. And this figure just goes, all right, welcome everybody to Rustwater. Just make way as we do have our own people that are needing to deal with the craziness of what's going on. So everybody just, you people over on this side, and then we'll be over here on this side.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah, small retcon. It's Jeb. That's definitely Jeb. I think that makes more sense to me.
Recovers quickly.
Yeah. As Jez. Yeah, I was a little worried about that. Well, I mean, he's gonna be a loud talker, so I guess we just do. Everybody, I mean, we could all use a drink, right? I guess we'll just come in and try to. I'm Jezebel, by the way.
Lysandra.
Nice to meet you. My friends call me Jez. And I think like the rest of the people kind of like start to like sort of like moseying around her. So now it is a true, it is now become a true like sort of like club hubbub of just very little room. Just gonna just stand up. Thank you again for handling my my pappy. He's doing okay. Back to his normal
Good.
self.
I wish there was more I could do, but
Are you okay? There's a can't help but notice a horseshoe size marking on your armor.
I was kicked by a horse. It did not feel great.
Yeah, I bet. We've had people die from less, so that's wow. Must be some armor. Yeah.
It's okay. It'll do. Perhaps if more people wore armor, less people would die from getting kicked by horses.
Yeah, I guess I can't argue with that logic. All right. Jeb kind of cuts in from beyond the Hey, tall lady, can you help facilitate? You look like you're not from here, and you certainly don't look like them. Sorry, sir, but you know what you look like. If you could maybe help facilitate this, Vera, do we have any more chairs? Eli! Jeb is just causing commotion in general. Beautiful. Okay, so Ophelia, now at this point there is at this moment there is Ophelia, Timothy, Raza, and Jericho in the back. Vera is going to poke her head in real quickly. This one actually,
I would like grab her and pull her in if she popped in.
Oh, there's no way she's coming in. I'll be honest. I mean, you could try, but she's also going to. I think what Vera is going to do is, hey, tall lady, what's your name? Let's say, Lizzie, come here. You want a job? Yeah. Okay, give me a second. Hold your horses. Come here. Everybody, make way. Move. And Lysandra, you're able to kind of like move through the crowd very easily, as there's a lot of like, moments of just like women just, oh, as you're moving by. Vera goes, you want a job?
Depends on the job. I know my abilities and where I fall short.
Okay.
What is it you ask from me?
Can you hear people order drinks and then facilitate in pouring them? Take their money?
Why would I take their money when they need drinks?
There's no way I can answer that question right now. Okay, so I think of it as a trade. So you're gonna all the drinks are silver.
Pay for a necessary commodity? That seems rather callous, especially in a desert like this.
Where are you from? Do you see that man there that is wearing a leather bowler hat and a monocle and clearly is able to see without it?
Yes.
Commodity. So you charge him a silver. I'll tell you what, if it looks like the person that is walking up looks like really dirty, like Jeb over there, you can charge them a copper, and that's fine. But for all the other ones that look like Ophelia, the person that you had a fight with, you charge them silver, okay? And then I'll give you money.
I have plenty of money. I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1. Cool.
Comprehending what's going on. I have plenty of money of my own, I believe.
Okay. Do you have a place to stay?
I mean, it's a large desert. I'm sure I can find a place.
Do you want a wooden roof? No, give me a damn minute. Do you want like a roof over your head or something? Or just come on. I'm willing to. You help me. I help you. What do you want? What do you need?
You just need me to pour drinks.
Yep. Ask what people want. Read it on the bottom. Can you read?
Are there people who can't?
You can just ask me. What?
Are there adults who can't read?
Yeah, there's some people. This is a crazy question. Okay, so you can read. Great. Yeah. All right. So there's words on the bottles for most of them. And if not, just ask me. I'll point it out where it is. After a while, they'll just kind of grunt at you, and then you just take their money and just give them. Doesn't matter. Good.
Pour drinks.
Yeah. Take money first.
Charge people wearing monocles.
Yep. Or bowler hats, or look like they haven't been out in the sun for more than 5 minutes.
I will do my best to determine what that looks like.
Like taps your hand that is probably just has like the metal of. Beautiful. I love it. Thank you very much, dear. Okay. All right. So I am Vera, and this is what's your name?
Lysandra.
This is
Lysandra.
This is Lizzie, and then and you just ask. You go up to me, Lizzie, for drinks, and we will help you all out. Okay. All right. So form somewhat of a line, close enough. Then she just goes to work. Okay, so we come back to Ophelia, Timothy.
Those drinks.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I say like you can do awful at this. I think that makes a lot of sense. Ophelia, Timothy, Raza, and Jericho. So you're all in the back.
I think when Timothy got in the room, he looks at Ross and says, I think we fixed enough of the place. I think it's pretty sturdy at this point.
Timothy, we haven't fixed anything. Don't worry about the condition of the building. We've got a major problem on our hands here.
I'll help you with that, but I do have to get back.
Timothy, they were going to kill the whole town.
Oh.
Judge Steele is dead, the Accords are dead, and the town was supposed to be dead. Now there's a burning train out there that gave us a little bit of time, and we probably got hours to deal with it.
I did promise Eli that he would be able to see the Accords being signed. That's going to be a disappointment.
We'll be lucky for Eli to see another day here.
What do you suppose we do about it?
Just gather the town, defend ourselves as best we can. There's nowhere else for us to go. Ophelia thinks that maybe we should get the train out of the town, but that seems like a difficult task, and maybe they'll blame somebody else besides us.
I am not going to tell Timothy and Jericho I scared the horse, even though Jericho knows. But I am going to point out, the primary suspect, their main suspect has now left town. So at least in that sense, their eyes are going to be elsewhere. But we've still got this dead judge in town, and they're not going to stop looking at Rustwater. They're looking for any excuse. And I just thought if we could somehow get the train out of here, something. My fear being that they're going to be sending reinforcements down here to Rustwater.
Blair, you come in right now.
Ophelia, I think that was your name, correct? Well, apparently the communication device outside your father's wanting to talk to you.
My father? Did he actually give you his name?
No, he just said Ophelia and father, and I don't give a shit. But I do agree with you with moving the train, and DM, as I was looking at the train, how many cars were affected by the fire? Was it just one?
Definitely one, for sure. As far as the second one, it looks like there's no. So you haven't really investigated it, so I would say that like at this point, it would make sense for Blair to assume that the other two cars are okay.
Is the train still operational even with a burnt?
Well, the engine's in the front. The only problem is you have a burnt train and some other pieces missing. And I didn't get a full look, first thing that came to my head, if we disattach the affected cars, get everyone in town to push it off the tracks and just reconnect the ones not affected, that solves half your problem.
It's
Rasa,
possible.
Did you say something about a dead judge?
Yes, Judge Steele is dead.
What?
He was the target of the explosion on that train.
And is his body the problem?
I personally think that it doesn't matter what actually happened. They're going to blame us. It's an excuse, and they're going to come down hard on the city.
I think Timothy kind of thinks about, like, he kind of looks up a little bit. What if they don't find him?
That's just another reason to blame us.
When Timothy
They'll
says,
know.
"What if they didn't find him? What if they don't find him?" Jericho's just looking right at Timothy with those words being said.
They'll
Well,
know he's
Rasa,
on the train. He
what
left
did-
the city on the train.
But Rasa, we just had an Emberback attack. What if we I mean, this ain't for some of the fairer folk, but what if we throw them down an Emberback hole and light some ignite right on top of them?
Jericho inches just slightly away from Timothy.
I don't know.
I'm going to pause it here at this moment. It is very quickly apparent that there is not enough alcohol in front of the bar. So Vera says to you, Lysandros, "Okay, all right. There's a keg in the back room. Can you just grab that, and we're gonna call it whiskey. It's fine. Just go get it."
Okay.
A keg is like it's like a wooden.
I'm aware of what kegs are. We use them
okay.
for wine.
Sure. Yep. Actually, that's a good idea. Yeah. But yes. And then puts a hand up. Call it wine.
Okay.
Okay. You take your. You just do that. Yep. Okay. Great. All right. Yeah. Go get the wine barrel for the Merlot. You see a couple of eyes kind of turn direction.
I'm gonna go get the Merlot.
Yeah, you got it. Lysandra, you kind of walk in as Jericho is backing up. Full on, just you knock into her armor. Words.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man. Jericho's gonna look back in the room because I feel like this is
Lysandra, you see the grouping around the huddle.
Vera is running out of alcohol.
Crazy lady, lie, right? You like helping people and stopping the death of innocent people? Would you like to be a part of this conversation?
It's Lysandra, and I have all my mental faculties.
Mm-hmm.
And if there are people at risk, then perhaps the people at risk should be a part of that conversation.
We're the people at risk. The whole town.
You are not the whole town, as she motions behind her.
They're not part of the town.
I'm pretty sure one called Jeb claimed he was.
Yes.
Gladly proclaimed that
those are.
the bar was his, in fact.
We'll get to them soon. We have a problem and we're working up a plan.
Lysandra, in a nutshell, that judge that got blown up, he was coming here to Rustwater with his security team to kill as much of the town as he thought was needed. And the reason he was coming to do that was because the people here in Rustwater sent a letter to the Chancellor in Rasia asking for what was fair and to not starve them anymore. That was
Why
their
would a judge kill people?
because he was ordered to by the Chancellor. That's his job.
Why would a chancellor order a judge to kill people?
Because he's a bad person, Lysandra.
But I
You
thought
do
these
know
were-
that there are bad
elected.
people in this world.
Yes, but they're typically not elected to positions of power.
Where the fuck do you live?
Maybe you're not getting help. Maybe you just listen, and if there's someplace you can jump in.
She's
we would
breaking the
love to
rules
do
right
that.
about now.
There's a record scratch that comes from nowhere.
But I cannot have this conversation with a straight face any longer.
I just... If what you say is true about all this, then why have the people not done something about it?
We just
Because
found
most people
out
are out here
about it.
starving.
But it sounds like they've done this in the past. Not here, perhaps, but elsewhere.
We have limited resources. Our ability to stand up against the city is suicide at best.
And
I
it will be
think
fair
during
to the
this
judge
that he wasn't going to kill the town if everybody in Rustwater agreed to keep starving. So I will give him credit for that. Those are the choices they were given. Keep starving or get put down.
those aren't choices.
To the people that have everything, those are choices to them. To the people that have nothing, that aren't.
Can I roll a collective insight on the group? Because this is so far from what she thought the world should be that she wants to see what, like, if everyone's just like, yeah, this is real,
Or if this is a
they're all
collected...
trying to, like, pull
this is
the
like a...
wool over her eyes to make her fight for them or
Major
something.
gaslighting.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, go ahead and roll me
Natural
insight
20
check.
for a 22.
I think it kind of it moves along the same sort of like thing that we had before with the religion check, that the world is not, even with the things that you were warned about, taught. There's I think it's so twisted
It's worse
in
than
ways.
what people told her.
Yeah, it's so twisted in a way that I think there's really kind of a moment of like a little bit of maybe not lost respect, but lost trust in the people that taught you these things.
I think as you're mulling all of this over, Timothy notices the horseshoe print on your armor and kind of extends his hand out to feel that and looks at you and says, I can fix that.
I would appreciate that.
And then I think Timothy looks over at Rasa, and I guess Ophelia, she seems in charge here. And he says, what do you want to do?
I think it's time we notify the city. Bring everybody together. See what city council wants to do.
Well, there's
this
also
I need a little
people
while.
from the train. They're not going to be lacking staying there. They want to leave any minute now, and most likely when you got angry rich people, they're going to take control or get even angrier when stuff isn't going their way.
Put them back on the train, turn it on, and send them to Veracia. I don't care if there's anybody on it to control it. Get them out of here. Can you do it? You gotta protect the city, and they're not gonna help.
Like I said, the only first idea I got is taking the damaged carts and then reattaching the train. But considering right now the Brasslight employees are not my biggest fan at the moment, I don't think they will listen to me or let me go near it.
Timothy, you think you can get that burnt train off the tracks?
I mean, we have some horses to hook it up to. Me personally, no. I mean, maybe with a whole bunch of horses we can move the train, but that's asking a lot.
Cherry, give us the horses.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, Mr. Ross,
Where did you come from?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to give you a scare. Sorry, Mr. Ross. Yes, I can go get the horses. We should have plenty to make this work. I believe. What do we? Yeah. I can hook them up with chains. Yeah.
Okay, Timothy, Jericho, you mind handling the train while the rest of us go meet with the city council here, and then we'll convene there when you're ready.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Ross, I can do that. Does anyone else want to? I might need an extra set of hands for the horses if somebody would like to.
I can help you, Jericho. But perhaps.
Yeah, Eli's free. Yep.
Right on cue, actually, I rolled for it. Eli gets pushed into the back room. Ow. Hey!
Hello.
Vera
okay,
sent me
Eli?
in here looking for a keg. Okay, Lysander, you're here. Yeah, looking for a keg of wine.
Yeah, we're forgetting the wine right now, Eli. We have a very important task that the city's life depends on it. We need as many horses as you can get. Don't take no for an answer, but we need them here in front of the Rustwater. 20 minutes.
Okay, Rasa, Vera just gave me a look that I've
I'll
never
take care
seen.
of Vera. This is
Okay.
more important than the people out there.
There's a moment where Eli kind of like stares at you. And Rasa, I'm going to ask you this. Has there ever been a moment that Eli has seen where Rasa has taken this level of leadership? In anything?
Probably not. I think Rasa would mostly stay like you could let the leadership lead, right? But right now that leadership isn't here, and so he's a leader in his own way with his own crew, you know,
Right.
and like that is what he would do. But his vision of family has rapidly expanded in this instance. Like this is the people he needs to protect.
Beautiful. So in this moment, you see Eli just... Okay. Understood. I'll take the back door out of here. Horses... Where? 20 minutes?
In front of the bar, please.
Okay. All right. You know, some of the horses are not very... It's fine. I'll... Yeah. Okay. All right. And he kind of just runs off.
All right, we need to get these people out of here and onto that train while we figure this out. And then we'll head over and talk to city council. It's a point of order right there. We were all going to meet at the town hall.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, people gathering there. Is it about that time?
It would be. I think that, like, in general, there's a mass sort of like assumption based on the craziness of everything going on that I think there's also probably like there's a possibility that word has kind of gotten out. And there's at least a bunch of questions of whether or not this is still going on. So it's considerably less people. There's probably like maybe a few stragglers that have now kind of like made their way over to the courthouse, but yeah. For the most part, the like overarching sort of state is confusion. and that's why they're here. Really, a lot of them. Yeah.
Okay. Any other ideas?
Like I said, if you can get me to the train and not get shot, I can reattach it, deattach it, and we can reattach it. If we just get that damage card off. If you can
I
convince
think
the rest of the town
Conductor
to
would
help,
be cooperative if it got him out earlier.
Okay. I'm gonna open the door. I'm like, all right, everybody listen up. If you were on that train, get back on it. 20 minutes.
Give me a what's the thing there? Athletics check.
Oh boy. 18.
18? 18's not bad. First shout, the townspeople that are here are listening. The rest of them are not.
All right, listen up. We got a way to get you back home. We're trying to get you back on that train. You can start packing up, finishing your drinks. Give us a little bit of time here.
You see a couple people kind of like murmuring, like looking in your direction, but there's still mostly like there is a din of noise that Rasa is not getting over besides his own town people.
Lysandra's gonna put her armored hand on Ross's shoulder and just step forward and shout as loud as she can, "Listen up!"
Give me an athletics
And
check.
if I can roll an intimidation check.
Yeah, I like that too.
How about a 22?
There it is. 22, the whole room goes dead silent.
I nod to Rasa.
All right, we've got a plan to get you back on that train and get going again. Please finish your drinks and get out of here. We'll get you back on there and we'll get you going.
You hear murmurs of people. Someone kind of like shouts out, "What's the plan?"
Engine still works. We're gonna get rid of the burnt car and hook up the old one. The one's in the back.
Murmurs.
We got horses coming to help pull off the burnt train.
What gives you the authority to tell us to get back on the train?
Do you want to stay here or not?
Murmurs. Fair enough. Time to drink. I think you hear you hear Jeb go just immediately kind of like starting to like shoot people as you heard him. Get out. Yeah, we don't need you here. We don't need, just take your money and go, or you can leave your money, it's fine, but just get out of my bar. Just go. Go on, get. It's starting to like quickly push and you see like people are now just leaving just to like to not be around this man. Cool. And with that, you see Rasa, give me a I'll say actually Rasa, give me a investigation investigation check with advantage.
15.
Besides the city council themselves, which are notable people that need to be notified, most of the towns here.
Okay, I mean, if the people in the train, like if they start distancing themselves from the group, I would ask for whoever the town leader is. Do we know who that is?
So the council leaders are probably over at the courthouse. Like I'll say, like heads of families
Okay.
are kind of like what are around here. Which like that's to tell you, like you could be like, we're all going to the courthouse.
Okay.
That. Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. We have some urgent business. If we could all head over to the courtyard, we will discuss this as a community.
I'm gonna kind of come over to Rasa and say, Rasa, I'm gonna go get my bag of tools. Might be helpful when we're trying to work on the train. I'll be
Yep.
back in like 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, we should try and get these people out of here.
Big metal man, may I go with you? I don't want to be around talking to these people.
Sure, absolutely. Happy for the company, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Some murmurs from the crowd as they are like kind of like sort of bickering back and forth, and you hear one of your one of the people that you know from the pits kind of shout out, Raza, what do you know?
We'll tell you in the courthouse. Let's head over there right away here, and we'll get everybody filled in. Okay.
Give me a persuade. Yeah, give me a persuasion check.
All right. 13.
13. All right, Raza. All right, you heard him. And you see people start to now file out as we see the sun starting to set low over the over all of the Umber, but kind of zooming in on the picture of a couple of wires dangling down. And with that, we will take our 10-minute break.
Oh yeah,
See you
your
guys in 10.
dad's still on hold.
as we see Rustwater just start to make the turn from day into night. We see a mass of figures huddling around the Brasslight. We see more figures starting to gather around a small building. Its design looking more like a church with a single steeple. You notice there's a weather vane on top. We see its doors are currently closed. The camera moves back towards the Dust Bowl Saloon as we see figures starting to emerge from it, splitting off in different directions. Rasa, as you're emerging, you feel a cold, hard, heavy hand on your arm as Vera spins you around. What are you doing? You couldn't have just waited a couple more hours for me to get just... We could have been rich tonight, Rasa. This could have helped the whole town.
Vera, the town is in serious trouble.
I know the town is in serious... I know!
No,
Look around!
I'm not talking about being poor, Vera. I'm talking about being dead.
What are you talking about?
They were coming to kill us, Vera. Not to approve the Rustwater Accords, but to get rid of us.
How do you know? How do you know that?
Point out Ophelia. We made a friend. Hopefully she stays that way.
Well, you just been making friends everywhere you go.
I know that's unusual for me, but
I wasn't
sometimes
talking
things
to you.
happen.
It's like pushes your face out of the way. What do you know?
Judd Steele is dead.
She like Rasa. Shut up.
All right.
What do you know?
Sorry.
Pointing to Ophelia.
I know the special job that's given to Judge Steele. He's a brass-born magistrate. I know that the Chancellor and Vrasia ship him all around Abervar when they need to deliver bad news. And when he delivers that bad news along with his security guards, if the people receiving it don't like it or don't appreciate it, he doesn't hesitate. They use violence and they put you down. That's what he was coming to Rustwater to do this afternoon. There was never going to be an accord signed. Not if they were sending steel.
But they looks at Rasa. But they need us. They need the fucking Emberbacks. They need the Ignite.
Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they have another plan. We don't know that. But we know their intention. You know, that sounds exactly like something they would do.
They can't. They couldn't just wipe a town off the map. People would hear about it. It's an election year. You couldn't just.
the right kind of money, you can do anything.
Those motherfuckers. All right, what do you need me to do?
Well, trying to get the town together and decide how we're going to handle this. Do we retaliate? Do we get protection going? Do we concede?
Are you gonna need Kenneth for the vote?
Of course we're going to need Kenneth for the vote.
All right, I'll go get him down there. You see her walk away. Actually, she stops and looks at Ophelia. You better be right.
I am.
Walks off. You guys split off to do what you're doing. We'll say we'll do kind of like before we go into like specific scenes. What is everybody doing now as the wheel starts moving? Where is everybody going? Things like that. So we'll start with Ophelia.
Well, apparently I have a phone call, according to Blair. I'm kind of skeptic it's actually my dad, but I'll wander out there in the dark and try and find that. What are we calling that? Just a communicator, or do I even have I seen these before?
We'll say for now you've seen these before, but you're not exactly sure what they're called. Communicator sounds right.
But I saw the conductor using it. Okay, so yeah, I'll wander out there and pretty quickly and pick it up and do whatever I saw him do.
Actually, we'll have some fun with this. Ophelia, give me a, I guess a history check.
Sorry, 19.
19. Okay, cool. With a 19, you know this thing is, it's designed for like places that are that do not have like a means of getting communication back and forth to be able to handle sort of like emergency sort of call information. That being said, Ophelia, you don't understand the technology of it or anything, but there is rumors that there's also that they also work like a bug, essentially, being able to monitor things that happen. It's a rumor, you don't know for sure.
Okay. Okay, I pick it up and say, "This is Ophelia."
You got it. We'll pause you there. Rasa.
I'd be trying to find town leadership and to fill them in on what's happening before an announcement.
You got it. Cool. Lysandra.
I think she would go with Rasa because putting the town in the right direction with whatever's coming is more important than the train to her.
Got it. I'm so sorry. Instead of the train, where are you? I apologize. Where are you going? So sorry. My mind just broke.
She's going with me.
Okay. Got it. Cool. Sorry. Two things at once, and I
Mine
missed
went too, so I was so confused.
Yep.
I was like, what?
One of those
imagine
weeks.
that I wasn't here for about 5 seconds. What happened? Yeah.
And then I wasn't here for about 5 seconds. We're on a great wavelength tonight, Joe.
Yep. Killing it. Beautiful. Cool. Timothy, where are you headed?
Well, Timothy's heading back to the shop, his blacksmith shop, but and he said he's going to get a second kid. But he also clean out his stagecoach. And he needs to spend a couple of minutes trying to search around for the note. He knew he left it somewhere around there. Or,
Okay.
Well, it was there at some point.
You got it. Okay. Cool. Jericho, where are you going?
I'm with the horses wherever they are. If they are currently pulling the train cart like off the track.
No, no. We're saying in this moment you guys are splitting up and going out. Where are you going? So you're going to the stable.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Fun. Beautiful. Blair, where are you headed?
Blair is following Timothy, and she's just writing in her little book, and she's gonna try to do like the math of how many horses or people will need to tip the cart off the tracks.
I love that. Very cool. Where are you going to do this? Are you just kind of like staying in the bar to kind of like trying to write, like do the math on this?
Oh, I'm just following, but like I have a little notebook and I'm following him, and I'm gonna see if he has any other tools.
Who's
Timothy.
him? Got it.
Timothy.
Okay. Cool. All right. Sweet. I love it. All right. Okay, cool. We will handle the Ophelia phone call. Ophelia. Honey. Is that you?
Father?
You do recognize the voice.
Okay. Yes, Daddy, it's me.
What? Okay. Well, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I'm talking to you on the phone. Are you okay?
Some of the people in the news. There's rumors going on about that the Brasslight didn't come in, and that there was some sort of explosion near Rustwater.
Oh, I know. I spent the afternoon first fighting off a Imberback attack in the saloon, immediately followed by a train explosion rolling into town. And I know we're not on the best of terms, Daddy, but I feel like this is a little much for punishment.
Okay. Well, all right. So Emberback attack sounds like you're. Sounds like a little bit much, but I sure. I understand. Okay. All right. Well, seems like based on our agreement, there might be a good idea to maybe find another place for you. Maybe a little bit further south. And just, trying to kind of like put you up with some of the people that don't need you to lie low. Okay. All right. Well, just, sit tight. There is, based on the information I'm getting, there are people that are going to be coming in pretty soon. I should be able to, I'll have to kind of pull some strings, but they should be able to get you home, and then we'll find another place for you to be. Are you... So you're safe from the train?
Yes, Daddy. When you said home, do you mean home I'm coming back to Madura?
It would be a temporary fix there. You know the deal. We have to handle things from this end, and we're not even close to that. But if there is Emberback attacks, you hear air quotes in the phone as he says that, and train explosions, maybe that place is not the best place for the future of the Hargraves. So we'll find another place for you. So sit tight. Has the town been treating you okay?
Yes, they're actually really good people, and they're in a real bad situation down here.
Sure. Yeah. Well, then you kind of sit tight with them, and just make sure that you know the deal, Ophelia. Make sure you don't accept any drinks that you haven't seen being poured, and just make sure you keep writing in your little journal every night, so that we can. It's very important for the future of you just getting. This is actually probably good for you. This is good for you, probably, just being able to kind of get a little bit of a culture of what things look like from the other side of the coin. So I'm glad everybody's being very nice to you.
I'm really glad you said that, because it is hard down here, and if there's some ways I can help, I'm gonna do that while I'm here.
That's. You see him start to say, "That's fine." What do you mean? What are you saying?
I don't know.
Ophelia, please don't be getting yourself into trouble more trouble than you're already in.
I won't. I'm gonna be helpful where I can. That's all.
Right, but what does that mean? I've seen you being helpful, Ophelia. That's why we're here in this place in the first place. That's why I'm calling you, having to wait for, gosh, must have been 20 minutes to hear back from you. The person on the other end was extremely rude. Look, we're here.
Nothing.
You know why we're here. Okay, I'm not going to get into it. I feel like you've heard my point in here. So just make sure, just observe.
Okay.
And just do your best to fit in.
Okay. Message received.
So I can tell your mother that you're okay.
Sure. I'm sure she's been asking after me.
She is, okay. Well, she has been asking about you, in a manner of speaking, and it comes from love, as you know. Look, in a few years, you'll understand things from my side. Yeah, I know it's not very clear right now, but this could be good. This could be good. Just, try to, avoid those creepy crawly emberbacks, and hey, maybe you can save, maybe ask one of the locals to give you like some ignite to take back as like a souvenir.
What? Oh, yeah, I will. But Daddy, I gotta go. As you know, there is a train on fire, so I'm not gonna stand here too long.
Oh yeah, is it close? Okay, yeah. Well, just make sure you just get out of the way of the people that are putting it out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. I love you, sugar.
Mm-hmm. And the line goes dead.
Beautiful. Okay. Ophelia, where do you go from here?
I'm gonna head straight to the courthouse and see if there's any way I can be helpful to Raza talking to people.
Yeah. As you are a little bit further behind from the rest, you start to see the people that have lined up to come back into the freight cars, and you see you see Silas kind of like putting a hand up and trying to say, Okay, everybody. Nope, it's not safe just yet. Just please, just give us a few more minutes here. We're gonna make sure that everything is good, and then we will find a way to be on our way. Obviously, you are going to be getting a full refund for this journey. We apologize for the delay on this, and please just give us a few minutes. Oh, okay, great. And notices you walking by. And seeing the like kind of the communicator, like the line sort of like swinging back and forth. It looks like Silas was waiting for you to get off the phone. So passing by, I'll say he looks at you and then kind of like tries to like flag you down for a second.
Okay, I stop. Yes, Mr. Bronwyn?
Yes, you can call me Silas. So it sounds like we've had a little bit of miscommunication back and forth as we had some of the patrons going into the bar and then coming back. I'm not blaming you, just maybe you can hang out here and just try to like, just calm down some of the folk. Also, just so you know, I am just going to be going into calling the capital. We're going to get some backup here, as I'm sure you've seen somewhat, but we have captured the culprit, and we're going to just make sure that they are brought in to the city. But there's going to be a couple of our Solar Crest friends coming in, as well as Octavius himself. Roll me a history check with advantage, as because I was going to be coming in to clean up some of the mess. I'll make sure that I put in a word to just remind that there's a great present before just in case anything gets complicated.
I rolled 2 2s, so
okay. All right.
Don't know who that is, I guess.
I'd say you could ask technically.
Okay. I'm sorry.
This is someone from Veracia, and you live in Madura, so there's yeah.
Sorry, I didn't catch the name you said who was coming down here.
Oh, Octavius Fenwick, the captain. You catch that, like Fenwick, you definitely know. Representing of the commander of the Raptors. But the first name is not. First name is Enos, so Octavius is someone else. He refers. Go ahead.
No, sorry. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say he refers to Octavius as as one of the High Watch captains, which you would know as being basically a. If we were to look at the concept of like the Raptors being kind of like a National Guard sort of thing, they're part of the High Watch are part of like a police, specifically a policing division of that, focusing on investigation stuff. So like high crime, like city or countrywide investigation.
Oh, I am so glad that you're moving so fast on this, Silas. But I mean, why do they need to come here to investigate?
Sure.
That seems like a lot for Rustwater.
Oh yeah, no, I assure you, the place has very little to do with it, except for the fact that we did have a death of a high judiciary leader. So it's that sort of factor. But as we've mentioned before, it seems that the suspect has been caught, at least one of them. Yeah, don't worry about it, Miss Hargrave. We're gonna handle it and take care of it, and we're gonna make sure that you are attended to.
Oh, I'm not too worried about that, and I should have said from the very beginning when I saw you that you did an amazing job getting that done. And don't think I
Well,
didn't notice that.
Thank you very much. That is high praise coming from a Hargrave. Thank you so much, and
Can
appreciations extend on if there's ever a point with your father or any communication sort of things that I would be, it's no trouble.
I was just talking to my father on your little wire thing, so he is aware that it's been chaotic down here, and he asked me to keep giving him reports, so I'll make sure that he knows who's been in charge here, and how well you've handled a very difficult situation. Would you mind if I, obviously you don't have to pay me any mind, but could I make a suggestion?
Of course, yes.
I know that you have all of these people who are good people. We know that looking around.
Salt of the earth.
No, they
of
need
course.
they need to get on their way on that train. I know you've got that mess.
Mhm.
Just listening to people here in Rustwater, they want to be of help. So I don't know. It just seems like if we could get that train car, the bad one, moved to a bigger city, a better place, they would be so much easier for the Solar Crest to get down here to investigate, to look at the train, however they want, whatever tools they need. It just seems like leaving it out here in the middle of nowhere in Rustwater really isn't going to be too helpful to anyone. So if we could get the townspeople to help get that into a better place, I know they would.
Well, yeah, that is a thank you for making that suggestion. It's well, to be honest with you, based on the phone call that I'm going to be making that suggestion to the authorities here. But it is once I pick up the phone, it is truly out of my hands based on the choices there. So if they say stay, I say sounds great.
Okay.
But yes, I will take that into consideration, Miss Hargrave.
Thank you, Silas. I appreciate it.
Can I get you anything? Water, food? There's some food on the train still.
Oh yeah. No, I've been very happy at the Dust Bowl. Vera's taking good care of me, and so yeah, I'm just gonna mingle a little bit out here, say my hellos, and I'll probably check on some town people too. But I'll be around though if you decide you need me.
Okay, great. Next time you actually talk to your father, I didn't realize that was your father on the phone. I did pick it up when you were, and I was immediately kind of getting into a response, and was your father's a very hard-worded man when push comes to shove, and was said in so many words for me to get off the phone as it was tied up. So if you do talk to him again real soon, just tell him that I apologize, or maybe it was someone else.
Yeah, I don't think he knows who did that. We don't need to tell him. Yeah,
Sounds great.
It's been pure chaos, so don't worry about it, Mr. Robin.
Indeed, yes. One of my employees has his face blown clear off, which would be very tricky for the rest of the journey for the others. He's fine, just missing a face. I don't have to bother you about that. So, have a good evening.
Good evening.
Okay.
And as soon as he's not looking, I'm going to the courthouse. I'm not hanging out with those train people.
You got it. Rasa, Lysandra, and Blair. As you guys head to the courthouse, you see the door is the large
There
kind
was
of.
Timothy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Blair's Timothy. That's right. So Rasa and Lysandra, you guys head to the courthouse. You see the doors are currently closed. Yeah, we just take it from there.
Okay, I would walk in and find whoever the leader of the town is.
You go to open it. It seems like it is currently like, actually, yeah, it feels like it's locked.
Do I see somebody who would know how to open it or could open it?
Turning around, no, you see just like kind of the rest of the townsfolk. The idea of it being locked is pretty weird.
Do you look concerned at that, as in like there's a problem concern, or
Yeah,
this is an obstacle concern?
why is this locked right now? That's weird. Is this a shoddy enough door that I can kick it open?
If you want, or you could knock.
Oh, knock on the door.
You are not
the
timid.
only answer.
No, I'm not.
Bust it open.
I love that.
It's like a typical
love that.
D&D thing.
Yeah, it was so.
He goes to kick it, like Sandra just puts a hand on his arm, like, no.
Yeah. No, not right now. Thank you. You recognize that voice as Mayor Clive Hawthorne, the bumbling mayor of Rustwater.
Oh boy, Clive, we're having a town meeting here. Open up.
We're having a town meeting in here. Who am I speaking with?
This is Rasa Strong.
Okay. One moment. You and only you?
Oh, the whole town.
No,
Clive.
no. I understand what you're saying. Trust me. They've been banging on the door for the past 2 minutes. I'm saying you come in. They stay out.
Are you not the leader of this town?
Who's that?
That's a friend. Why don't you let us in here, the two of us, and we'll talk about it, okay?
Okay. Just the two of you.
Okay.
Latch. Door opens. And you see a Lysandra, roll me a nature check. Wish I had a picture of this guy. I did not think I was going to need him.
18.
Just yet. 18. Okay. Clive, with an 18. 18's pretty good. Okay, good. Clive is a very short, very stout. If you with an 18, you get the idea that he is most likely human. You don't see any sort of like extended sort of features giving the halfling or dwarf or any sort of correlation with that, but it's pretty dang close. He's a little short man, fully just bald with just like kind of like tufts of hair along the sides, very big, like kind of like bulbous nose that is like kind of has that like permanent sort of sunburn sort of look, and brown eyes that just can't stop blinking. The epitome of a nervous person, I think, is what you see. As you see him like open the door. You also see Lorna Cole, Rasa, that you recognize as being is technically the sheriff, but really kind of just works as a sort of like a leader in the community based on like she has the badge, and that's there's very little as far as crime and things like that going on. Basically one that kind of like sorts out like petty sort of things that happen. And then Jedediah, so Jed Farnham, who you would know very well as he is your boss, as he is the overseer and also the head of the Ignite Wranglers.
Okay.
You see all three of them kind of like around the area of this courthouse. Lysandra, you actually see, as you look around the rest of the area surrounding this, it looks like a church, because inside it looks like a church. This courthouse does double as a church. as you see, there are pews that are kind of like lined up along each way, and there's like that sort of same sort of words lost me. Podium, but the religious kind.
Pulpit.
Pulpit, thank you. Yeah, there's an altar just down below it. But yeah, you don't see any sort of like specific religious iconography on the walls or anything like that. But yeah, all three of them seem to be kind of like they were hanging out like right in the like sort of like the front area, as if they were almost like in a just a nervous sort of group of sort of like wondering what is up, and seems to be in a genuine sort of state of confusion and nervousness. Rasa, this is well, you know. Sorry, and you are Miss
Lysandra.
Lysandra. Well, you're right off the train, aren't you? Welcome. I apologize for the look of Rustwater. It's seen better days. This being a rather confusing one at that. We were trying to figure out how to handle the situation. You see Jedediah kind of like step forward. Yeah, Rasa. What exactly happened out there today with the Wranglers? Or the Emberbacks?
Well, I'm not exactly sure how they got out. A couple of them attacked the Dust Bowl, and we had to put them down.
Well, that is unfortunate. We have certain procedures in making sure that doesn't happen. Unfortunately, I was not there today. I don't understand how word has it that a soldier got out.
That is correct, and a crawler.
That is highly unusual. In your experience, any reasoning on why they would be so curious of the town? As you guys are hearing this, you're kind of like recognizing that there is just as much interest in the Emberback attack as the Brasslight, if not more so, and recognizing like that's a point of contention, at least in the mix of all this.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't tell you at this time. We've had a lot going on. We haven't had a chance to see what happened or how they got out. Could be anything at this point.
Sure. We'll chalk it up to strange. Possibly the Brasslight itself that might actually help with the conversation with the Accords. I have heard some rumors on possibly being delayed in this. It's just any kind of waiting for confirmation on that from above, so to speak.
I would close the door from the outside, just so that it's just like us privately. If Ophelia is around or coming back, I would try and eye her.
Yeah, Ophelia, you kind of come right up to the steps at this point as you see Rasa kind of starting to kind of close the door and seeing you come in.
And they run up there.
Yeah. Everyone, this is Ophelia Hargrave. I'm sure you recognize the name.
I've never told you my full name, actually.
Oh, I haven't? Okay, so it's just Ophelia.
No one knows except Silence.
Ironically, Clive knows who you are.
He does.
Yeah, as your father would definitely be making sure that the mayor of the town understands the situation. Oh, well, we have never formally met, but Ophelia Hargrave, I presume. Very, very nice to meet you. My name is Clive Hawthorne, Mayor Clive Hawthorne.
Oh,
I goes and shake your hand.
Mr. Mayor, it's an honor to meet you. Thank you.
Yes, and you, of course, your family name goes on for, well, so sorry for the way things look in Rustwater. It goes through the same spiel that was given to Lysandra.
Well, guys, our friend Ophelia here has told us some very bad news, and we wanted to come to you first, and then we can have a talk with the city. Ophelia knows the situation better than I do, but from what I know about Ophelia in the brief time that I've met her, she has been reliable.
Should I start, Mr. Mayor?
Please, you have the at the floor.
Okay. Well, first I'll start by saying that, I've been here in Rustwater for a few weeks, and I can't say enough good things about this town and the people that are here and how kind you all have been. And I've seen the struggles that are here too. And earlier when I heard that you guys had these accords and you were going to have a judge come and sign it, Rasa told me that it was Judge Steele that was coming here. And, with my position and helping my father, and, I get a lot of glimpses into dealings around Abervar and Vrasia. And I happen to know for a fact that Judge Steele has a special job given to him by Vrasia, by the Chancellor. When they're delivering.
Oh, your voice is cutting out.
Oops. Maybe I need to get closer. Is that any
You're
better?
good. You're good again. Yep.
Judge Steele is who they send out when they're delivering bad news. That is his only job as he travels around Abervar. And I also know the stories that follow him. And along with delivering that bad news, if the people receiving it don't receive it well, he's authorized to commit violence. Vrasia doesn't take well to anyone acting up, even when they're telling someone like Rustwater that they're going to have to keep starving. And, normally I wouldn't be giving out that kind of information. I wouldn't be getting involved, but I've seen what you guys are all going through here, and I thought it was important that you had all the information.
Yeah. Are you may I ask how certain you are of the foreseeable outcome of this discussion?
100% certain. That is Judge Steele's job. And I'm so sorry to say that to you, because I know how unjust that is.
And to complicate this matter, Judge Steele is dead, killed on the drain. And you can guess who they're going to blame for it.
You see Lorna kind of sending out. She's darker complexion, kind of like standing rather like tall and rigid throughout this whole conversation. You see her just kind of. Yes, that is bad news for all of us. It's a lot of bad news.
I've got more to deliver, and I'm so sorry. I talked to the conductor on the way over here, and they're sending a captain with the Solar Crest and some other law enforcement from Vrasia to come look. So we really have only got so much time before they roll into town.
And this Solar Crest, what are they?
You see all eyes kind of turn towards you. I guess I can speak up for that. The Raptors of the Solar Crest are the gleaming golden backbone of Abravar, of making sure that they're the shield and the sword, of making sure that we're all safe and from troubles near and far, well, they haven't been very busy as of late, so. And then Lorna kind of cuts him off. It's bad news. Do we know who's responsible for what happened on the train?
The conductor, they believe that they found the culprits. They suspect 2 security guards that were with Judge Steele, and one was arrested, one got away, unfortunately. But
Yes, he also murdered someone on the train for stating his name out loud. I don't know if that is important.
But stated his name. Okay. Someone was
Alden?
killed on the train before that?
Yes.
Alden.
Someone called him Alden and he killed him.
Alden. Last name?
I did not catch it, but I believe it starts with an H. He had the initials AH embroidered on a kerchief.
Lorna kind of seemingly kind of like strains up a little bit more. Raza, Jed, come here. I'd like, excuse us for a moment.
What do you know?
Jed, do you remember the... Do you remember the raids we had about 20 or 30 years ago?
The ones that took a family farm?
Yeah. Well, okay. So, Rasa, I'm sorry to bring this up now, but it is something that I learned about much later, and I found out he was dead anyway, so it just didn't seem to apply here. and I don't remember exactly if the leader of the raiding party, supposedly, after he died, it was said to be murdered by his son. And for some reason, I remember the kid's name, Alden. Be Alden Harrow.
So you mean to tell me that we had his son here and we let him go?
I mean, it sounds like everybody's been failing today, so yeah, it sounds like that's a possibility. I assumed that a name like that would have fled south. It sounds like he was going by some sort of surname. I have no idea why. Look, he could have been trying to stay clean with that. Kind of like looks over back towards Lysandra, and the fact that she heard the name is... What do we know about her?
She's new. I've only known her for a few hours, but she seems to be principled and here to do what's right.
Rasa. Sorry, I should have told you. I just didn't think revenge was... smart. And, well, to be honest with you, I guess I didn't... I just thought that would just cause more pain.
I think Timothy was on the trail. He asked me if I had recognized the name Harrow. I didn't know what it was about, and there was no context, but I think he's been hunting him down.
That makes sense.
Okay, well, after we figure out what we're going to do here with immediate danger, we can deal with Al Alden.
Yeah. It's gotta be him. It's gotta be. Why not? Why wouldn't it be? Especially today, right? Kind of starts to kind of like walk back. She walks back to the group. Jed kind of faces you for a second, Rasa, and goes, Rasa. I'm sorry, I know you were... Between you and I know you were very excited to put all this behind you.
It was a long time, but looks like the tough life continues.
If there was something I could do, but if... Looks like we're all still working. But hey, we're living for now.
It's fitting for the life of people who live in Rustwater and never get a break.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, let's make sure this town doesn't go up in flames, shall we?
Okay.
head back to the group. Lysandra, Lorna goes up to you and goes, "You're sure it's Alden?"
Yes, that is what the individual called him before he killed them.
And H, you got that from a napkin? Or?
Kerchief he pulled from his jacket, his breast pocket. It was embroidered with an AH.
La-di-da.
Is there a concern to that? He's fled, unfortunately.
Well, I guess as seeing like Ross, I kind of come back. I guess there's no reason for it to be a secret. His father was a mass murderer, known to lead a pretty heavy-handed raider party. And
Here's he's following in his father's murderous footsteps.
Sounds like you looks at the shield and the sword that you're kind of like carrying. I would say you're lucky to be alive, but where are you from exactly?
The Free Cities.
Huh. We'll pause you guys there. Timothy, Jericho, and Blair. You guys are heading to the stables. As you are there, Blair, give me a. Give me. I'm going to say 3 investigation checks.
Oh, shit.
And we'll say hold on to them for a second because we'll kind of have probably some RP as we're going through this. Or actually, if you want to just message me them in Discord.
Okay.
So, Timothy, you head back into the stables, and I imagine you kind of just like make a beeline for the cart.
Yeah, I think I look over at Blair. I said, I mean, at this point, I think we've been introduced. Miss Blair, would you mind gathering my bag of tools over there? I think I might need those. I just have to take care of something out here with the coach.
You also see, like, when you come into the stables, you see Eli, like rounding up like 3 horses and just having like a hard time, just like trying to like, okay, all right, stop, just relax. God damn. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe help Eli a little bit too.
All right. Just give me one moment.
Jericho's here as well. So, Jericho, you could also probably like see like Eli just full on flailing at like trying to maintain control.
Yeah, I think the moment he starts cursing, I'll walk over there and just offer, I'll just like put my hand out, expecting some of the reins, and like I'll take them from him.
Here you go. Yeah, just this one is just bucking like crazy, man. Timothy, I can handle the bags. You said you needed a bag. I can handle whatever you need. You need the bags? Why don't we let Jerry handle the horses and I'll handle the bag?
Sounds great.
All right. What do you need in it?
Just all my tools.
All of them.
Well, the green bag. Get the green bag. I have it already loaded.
Okay, all right, yeah, the green. Okay, great, got it, cool. You see him like run off into the blacksmith sort of spot of that. Blair, leaving you free, honestly, to make those calculations if you'd like.
Yeah, she's just like going down in her notes. And she's also just like, as she's doing it, just skimming, like looking around the workshop as well.
Okay, you got it. Yeah, Blair, you see this is a kind of like weirdly kind of reminds you of home a little bit. You see like stables. You see the horses that Jericho is probably honestly at this point just like expertly handling. I mean, most of these have been here for a long time, Jericho, that you're able to like, or have been in and out. They recognize your face.
Yeah. I think you see a clear, if you're watching, just to sort of set the scene, you see a clear change in demeanor within the horses. As soon as Eli hands them over, they just almost instantly calm down and then fall into a rhythm. It's sort of like the difference between someone who's good at walking a dog and someone who like isn't. So it's like they fall right in line. They just follow Jericho. He doesn't say anything. He's just sort of making some really positive, soothing noises to them as he ushers them right to the Brasslight, I believe.
Cool. You got it. Jericho, you do notice that Timothy is starting to make his way towards the cart.
All right. I will keep an eye on that. More than anything, to just see if Timothy notices that anyone has been in or messed with this cart. You know, since I took it, sat in it, and then brought it right back and tried to replace it exactly as it was.
Mm-hmm.
I also imagine I still have the scrap of paper in my pockets or on my person.
Cool. Yeah.
That I have heard Timothy said he's been looking for. So,
yeah.
Yes. I think there's something like, as I'm watching Timothy wandering around, going to the cart, just sort of a thought goes through Jericho's head of like, he's not going to know. He's not going to know. It's fine. Mr. Timothy will be okay. It'll be okay. Not today.
Beautiful. Blair, based on your calculations, looking at the idea of like kind of like getting the average sort of strength that a horse is able to produce, you know that it will need to it'll be something that either it needs to be someone who's extremely good at handling horses, or they'll all need to be ridden to be able to kind of be directed on where to go. You also see that with 3 horses, it's possible. With 4, you can do it. Right now you see Jericho masterfully handling 3 horses.
Jericho, was it?
Yes. Hello.
Hello. I noticed that you're pretty good with horses, and well, neededly, do we have like a 4th one? 3 could do it, but 4 would be better.
Well, I guess we still got old Tabby at the saloon still. Here we got Quavo, Ross, and Chandler. But we can definitely I think we have 4 horses at our disposal. We can't hurt them though. It's important that we
No. I think if you're handling them, from what I've seen, like, I grew up with horses, wasn't really good with it when I was younger. Like, I'm probably one of the last people to go near these guys.
Sorry, Joe's dying right now. Joe is dying.
Too bad we didn't get 2 more. We could have had Phoebe and
Just the Huevo first, and then the all right, whatever. Ross and Chandler. Okay, sorry.
No,
Good.
No, it's just very important. These horses don't belong to me. They belong to their owners, and it's it's just important that we take care of them.
I get it. I grew up on a ranch. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
That's why if you were in charge of the horses while we try to get this thing out of here, it'd probably be less of a mess and nobody gets hurt, including the horses. And I didn't formally introduce myself. You're actually the one polite and nice person I've talked to so far.
Oh, I am. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I'm Blair.
Oh, Blair. Thank you. Miss Blair. It's very nice to meet you as well. Thank you so much for Thank you very much for Thank you. You're very nice as well.
You're the first person who's ever said that, ever meeting me.
I will get the 4 horses over there immediately. Is there anything else in your calculations I should be aware of? Or?
I'll get back to you. I'm still adding some things up and carrying the 2s and all that.
Okay, I will just go make sure the horses are in position. Just are you gonna stay here with Timothy?
At this point, Timothy, looking through, you do not find your note, but you also do not notice any sort of sign whatsoever of any foul play.
Okay. I mean, I think Timothy, once he realized, the note is not there. He took a whole bunch of sawdust with a shovel, took care of the mess inside the wagon, cleaned up remnants.
So you're doing this now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love that so much. Yeah. So Blair and Jericho are having the conversation while Timothy is covering up a crime scene in front of all of you.
I want to say Blair has her back, and Jericho can probably.
Yeah. Yes.
So let's work on that last statement that Jericho just meant. So you're staying with. You're staying here with Timothy. As he's
in case
sawdust.
I figure out we need pulleys or something. He's fine, right?
Pull. Yes. If we need leverage. That would be. Jericho's just looking around you at this time.
At this point, Timothy has actually taken some of the muck of the cart and is now pushing it over one of the stables, and it's just
Should I just go with you?
Anywhere you would like to go, that'd be fine. It's a free town so far.
Are you okay?
No. Yes. No. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'll go with you. I can be okay-ish with a horse if it's not mad at me.
They'll be quite okay with us, I think. Should we, I guess, tell Mr. Timothy?
There's a perfect sort of moment that Timothy, you finish up everything right when Elias kind of pulls out the back, and like Jericho, you see this, like, of course that's how that's gonna like the timing of that, like being just absolutely perfect. And Timothy's like, I just don't think Timothy's being stealthy at all, but like timing just lines up perfectly that Elias kind of comes out. Here is your green bag, Timothy. Oh, looks good. Looks spick and span in there.
Jericho? Miss Blair? Did you get everything all ready?
Yes, sir, Mr. Timothy. We're about to walk the horses down to the Brasslight, Mr. Timothy. Miss Blair's done a great job of doing math.
Should we all just ride in the cart and take the horses with us to get there?
No,
faster?
it might be better if I just walk the horses there. But I can if you.
You sure? Eli kind of just. Are you sure, Jack? Honestly, it'd be kind of like a ways down there. Also, we could all just kind of huddle up and hi. Have we met? Looking at Blair.
Sorry, I'm in a relationship.
Okay. Turns around.
I think before Eli actually goes back in, I think Timothy actually looks at him and says, "Eli, did you happen to see any paper? Maybe a note with something written on it? It was out here somewhere, and I think I misplaced it."
And then we have like the opposite sort of view of the camera. Timothy is looking at Eli. Eli is facing opposite of Jericho, and now Blair and Jericho are there on the opposite end as Jericho just starts coughing. Well, a piece of paper. What did it look like?
Just a simple paper with a note. It had a word on it, or
Had a single word on it?
it was a name. I just need to verify.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's a possibility that. Hey, Jericho. Did you happen to find anything in the stables that could have been like? I mean, how small was it?
It's just a small piece of paper.
Okay. Jericho, do you see I didn't see any paper, boss. Jericho, did you see a small piece of paper? There's a name on it?
And with that, Timothy just turns at Jericho.
No.
Well, there you have it, boss.
Okay.
You want me to come with you guys?
That's a setback. Yeah. I think everyone needs. I think we're gonna need all hands.
All right.
far as
Do
Ross
you
was
have like a
talking
lot
about.
of rope and pulleys and all that?
I have rope. You need rope?
Yeah,
I got plenty of rope.
A lot of rope.
Yeah, great. All right. I'll get the rope. What size?
The thickest one that could sustain tons of metal connected to people and horses, with maybe a pulley system.
I'll
Large
grab
rope.
the
Large
normal
rope.
rope I got. Okay. And heads inside. Comes back out with a ton of rope. We'll say about maybe 200 feet. Kiki, don't look at me like that. Yeah, okay, all right. He comes back and like has like a wheelbarrow that he rolls out with 200 feet of rope. Kiki, look at me.
Just put it in the cart.
He grows crazy muscles and lifts up 200 feet of rope.
It's fantasy, okay? Just let them in.
That's what he thinks his mind, and then he's like,
Yeah, Hulk's out. He's surprise. He's a barbarian.
All right. So I guess if I don't know, is everyone getting on the cart? Then I feel like I'm wondering how socially pressured Jericho is right now in getting into the Timothy's cart.
Are you bringing the cart, Timothy?
The stables aren't that far from everything. I mean,
No,
we walked
as far
over
as
them, right?
like really needing to be in there. No, it was Eli trying to just get everybody close together.
No. Eli, you could talk to her later. We got work to do.
Timothy, I have no idea what you're talking about. But it must be about someone else.
Must be.
And you guys kind of so you guys are collecting all of collecting the horses and the rope and kind of heading out to the burnt remains of the freight car. Excuse me, the passenger car, the last passenger car. All right, beautiful. Okay, we cut right back onto Ophelia, Rasa, and Lysandra. So at this point, there's like been several sort of like knocks on the door that have been largely ignored. You imagine that seeing the responses from Lorna, Jed, and Clive, they've been ignoring this for a little bit.
Well, bad news doesn't age well. Let's bring everybody in here and fill in the town.
Hold on. We need to kind of decide what would. We're not wanting an uprising, right? So we're gonna want to handle this. Forgive the pun, but judiciously. We don't. Assuming that the raptors come, we have to kind of assume that they're. Look, I know no one is happy about this, and myself included. I think it's clear that we don't want an uprising here.
Sir, if I may. Bad news does not get better with time. And what you keep from the people today, they will discover eventually. And you will be grouped with those they stand against. So you can choose to support the people who supposedly chose you as their leader. Or you could choose vagaries and lies and stand with what you know is coming.
I have to say the supposedly part did cut a little. I was just saying that tactfulness might need to be in place as we want the pitchforks to stay in the stables, so to speak, right? I mean, it's not a question of right or wrong as much as it is a question of lives. Are we not in agreement on that?
Yeah, we have enough time here to have cool heads about it. We're not going to be here in the night, I don't think. He looks at Ophelia. I don't think.
Ophelia, roll me a history check if you want.
I don't know how fast griffins fly. 21.
21. If they left now, they could be here by morning.
From what I heard from the conductor, Mr. Bronwyn, he called and they seemed very eager to be here. So I think we've got tonight to do what we want to do. And that's it. They'll be here by morning.
So that gives us time to prepare, rest, and face whatever tomorrow brings.
Lorna, what do you think?
Well, this is fun. I want to roll for Lorna. You see Lorna just kind of look at Jed and Clive and I'm sorry, Clive. And he takes off her sheriff badge and throws it to the ground. I'm not bending backwards over this. Not again. Not anymore.
Is there a deal you've been making, Lorna?
I was just referring to the general bullshit that Vracia's been giving us the past 20 years. I mean, there's no reason to say no to us. Other than just keeping us under the...
Can take it.
They're just trying to keep us under the boot heel. And, you know, I can't say this as a sheriff, so consider this my resignation. But I think a message is in order.
Are pitchforks exactly what are needed right now?
Look, I gave you this information because I want to help, but I also have to say that I didn't tell you this so that you could try and take on all of Rasia. You can't take on the Solar Crush. You can't. They will crush you. And I understand that you can't roll over, but the answer can't be to just die in the dirt. There has to be some other way. I'm not saying I have the answers. Maybe there are other allies out there. Maybe there's something else that you could do, but taking a stand against a Solar Crest, that's not a plan. That's just a death wish.
Well, then what's the plan, Hargrave?
Don't let them do that to you.
You know, you keep saying them. And I forget, where are you from in this? I've definitely heard your family name before. Aren't you from the north?
I am, which is why you need to listen to me. I know better than anyone else here what they are capable of. I have seen it time and time again.
We're already dying in the dirt.
Let them do this to you. They want you to do this. They want to wipe you off the map. They do not care.
And we should go
down.
And
I know that you think that you
should go down fighting
to this whole system, but you're not. If they manage to get you out of the way, all that's going to happen is the Ironbound's going to come in. They're going to take the land, and guess what? There's no shortage of desperate people in Abravar.
We'll let all the Emberbacks
just
out.
move in your replacements. I do not understand why you're just going to let them do this to you. There has to be another way. Bide your time. Get past Vrasia now. Bide your time. Find another way. But don't fall into that trap. They want you to put up a fight. What did I just tell you about Judge Steele?
A citizen of Rustwater now. So I will stand with the people, whatever they decide. And I think she walks out. Yeah, she walks out.
I think we need to decide as a town what the direction should be.
Rosa, we all know that Abravar is coming apart at the seams. We know that the Chancellor, he's losing his grip. There are other options out there. You do not have to take on Vrasia on your own. And I'm not hinting that I somehow have all these connections, but it is plain as day. That is not the only two options are before you are not die of starvation or die by a sword in the Solar Crest. You don't at least just consider making it through another day and giving you guys yourself some options.
You think you can buy us forgiveness when they're here tomorrow morning? We may not have the option. You'll walk out alive from this no matter what happens to us.
Well, maybe that's a good thing. Recognizing that there is an important person here means that they can't just wipe us out just because we have a person that could feed the truth to the people. They're smart. They know that. So maybe they'll be able to let us talk and recognize that peace is the best choice.
Peace at what cost? It sounds like your options are tyranny or death.
Well, I was, all due respect, miss, I was elected into this position as someone who understands the concept of leadership and where the lines get crossed, where I'm not the buck stops here, as it were, and I'm not. I think Jedediah kind of like stands in at this and goes, with all due respect, Clav, I don't think the people are going to listen to you. Just straight up. I do think they would listen to someone who knows this town, who has bled for it, and is looking at Rasa. Well, that's... And he just keeps bumbling words.
Peaceful, brother.
Let's put our trust in the town people to decide how they want to respond. I'm certainly willing to give you a shot tomorrow morning when they show up. But if they shoot first, we'll be right there. Gotta talk them out of it.
Above board, are you talking to me or are you talking to...
Yep, to you. Yep.
Me? Look, I promise to help, and I will do what I can tomorrow. But I'm not dying in the dirt with you. I'm not that stupid.
That brave?
Let's bring in the town. They want to know, they're going to find out. See what they want to do.
We're gonna need to know something tonight, that's for sure. Glad it's up to you, but why don't we give them a shot at it? They seem to understand the situation. But this is highly. I must admit, I'm not very fond of giving this information, but I guess I will stand by your side as you give it. How about that?
Okay. Deal.
I'll pause you there. Timothy, Jericho, Blair. You, as you're walking with the horses, there is a moment when you see Silas is on the communicator. Jericho and Timothy, you would see that as you're having to go pick up Tabitha. As you were passing by, and I'll say, Blair, would you say that you're kind of like following them, or would you be like, they're going to meet me at the cart?
Do you mean the train?
Yeah.
I thought we weren't taking the cart.
The passenger car. Excuse me, passenger car.
Yeah, she's gonna go to the train first, so that way she can make sure everything needs, like, how to do this exactly, like, plan.
Okay, I say, like, just like clarity's sake on there, you're just taking down the passenger car that is burned and broken. Right?
Yeah,
that's the
just
plan.
Ropes and just like.
Yeah, and just kind of like trying to tip it over and try to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a lot that is between you and that Blair, with like Cody 1, Cody 2. You get that, so I want to make sure that's perfectly clear on that. So if you're going to the train to try to figure out whether or not it's able to operate in that way, you're going to be in front of them. So is that what you want to do? Rachel, do you have something to say?
How far do you let us retcon? Could I have sent a message to Blair? I don't know what the range is on message, though. I'm wondering if I could have sent a message to Blair or them back at the thing to tell them I talked to Silas and made that suggestion. So maybe he would be totally surprised when you're showing up with horses.
Yeah. I'll say you could have done that as you were. That's why you were later to that. That's fine.
Yeah. If she knows that, she's probably gonna go with Timothy then, because she'd rather have the big guy to hide behind if they start shooting at her.
Okay, so you're going with Timothy and Jericho?
Yeah, she'll follow with them.
Okay, cool, awesome. Timothy, Jericho, and Blair. Yes.
I'm going to ask the annoying warlock thing, Joe. We have not had a short rest at all in any of this time. Okay.
No.
Then what I want to, just at some point, I'm just going to throw it in there. I'm going to do magic cunning for 1 minute. I just need 1 minute to do it and get a spell slot back. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah, you got it. Cool. Do you think that looks like something in any way?
I think just Jericho being quiet, maybe meditating for a short period of time. It says an esoteric rite, so I imagine there's a moment where Jericho just looks like he is staring off blankly into the distance.
Okay. Are you still carrying the horses?
I think so. I think just carrying the horses calmly, but you can sort of carry something and at the same time kind of disassociate, right? Like
You
that
got it.
thing of like, you know, stocking store shelves, doing those things of that nature that's like repetitive. This
Cool.
moment.
So I will say, if you're doing that now, that means the perception check I'm going to have Timothy and Blair roll, you're going to be out of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you're in that space of meditation. Cool.
Take me out of it. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Timothy and Blair, go ahead and give me perception checks using hearing the backside of this conversation that Silas is having.
Nat 1. Blair's just like,
Beautiful.
That was a 7.
Okay. Interesting.
Man, you sure, Joe? You sure you don't?
Oh yeah, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's
This
get this TPK rolling.
This is the interesting way forward. I like this.
Yeah. Beautiful. Cool. So you guys collect the horse. You see Tabitha as Jericho is like in this like sort of space of just weird sort of like not really even like verbally responding to things, just like kind of like grabbing the reins. And thankfully Tabitha is so well trained. Tabitha just doesn't even like just kind of just goes with you. And you guys kind of pass along and then come up to the other side of the passenger car. As you do, Blair, you're in your book, but I imagine with that also that you're probably behind the rest.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. You hear a psst, psst, and then you look and you see in the sort of like the train car that has the actually the first passenger car, I think they just kind of like put them in there. You see a figure in handcuffs wrapped around the window as the other Brasslight guard, Shaw. Come here. Do you come here?
Yeah, I approach slowly, not too close, but
Hey. We both know that I didn't do it. Why don't you get me out of here?
I have no idea if you did it or not.
Come on, man. I don't deserve this. You know you're fine with me going.
It would have been me, and I didn't do shit.
All right. Interesting. You know, there's a good chance that I will be getting out of this. So I guess I'll ask one more time. Can you make it easier for me and get me out of here? It's not a bad idea to owe someone a favor.
Yeah, but if I'm caught helping you, it makes me look even guiltier.
Who's to say you helped me? Just unlock me. I'll handle the rest. You know it's the right thing.
If you're looking for, like, morality of this whole thing, you're talking to the wrong person. You
Fine.
wanted the big lady to unlock you, most likely.
Fine. Then you know it's the smart thing.
She thinks about it for a minute, and she's like, is there anybody around looking at this?
I think for the sake of this decision, it's up to you, Blair. Oh, you mean like as far as like, is someone watching me if I decide to?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
That is a 17.
17.
Or 16, sorry.
16. With a 16, you do not see Cody 1 or Cody 2. You know that you're on the opposite side of the cart, so you're basically on the far side. So any of the people on the other side wouldn't be able to see you, and you know that Silas is on the phone. Come on, you know you don't owe these fucks anything.
Then I don't owe you anything, so... And she's just gonna walk away.
I'll remember that, Blair. And then just ducks back in the window. Interesting. Cool. So as you all head out to the car, I'll say at this point, Blair, you actually rolled pretty well in being able to kind of figure out how this would work. So you're able to spend some time as things are going on with Ophelia, Rasa, and Lysandra. I'll say, like, for you guys, I imagine you guys are kind of like just like opening the doors and just letting them in. So there's like a whole process of just people kind of coming in, questioning, kind of like looking around, trying to figure out what the heck's going on. You see that Lorna does come in, but kind of like stands towards the back. And while that's happening, you all are spending your time trying to kind of just like lasso tie around this cart and trying to kind of take some time to be able to kind of like lift it into there. I'll say for Timothy, Jericho, and Blair, go ahead and give me perception checks as you're doing that.
$15.
Okay.
8.
6.
All right. Cool. Jericho, as you are, so there might be a moment of like you like standing on Blair's shoulders, like trying to kind of get up and like kind of like collect yourself to be. You're the smallest one, so it makes more sense for you to be the lightest and like kind of like trying to tie up there. You I think trying maybe even to just like avoid, avert your eyes sort of things, but it's forgive the pun, it's like a bad car crash. You can't look away as you see inside these shattered, broken windows, this figure holding on to the other side. You can only see the back side of him as you see the metal has melted in parts and has shifted into space, making him look sort of like lopsided, but you can see the fingers are still wrapped around the iron bars on the outside. And you, I think in Jericho's mind, you kind of, knowing this is a Brassborn, and it's possible that its depiction of its own, face or expression might not be clear anyways, but you think something that you're not able to see the other side.
Okay.
Anything going through Jericho's mind as seeing the burnt remains of Judge Steele?
Seeing the burnt remains of Judge Steele. So Judge Steele was a Brassborn.
Yes.
Okay, yes. How human-like are Brassborn? I see Scott's image of Timothy. Is that kind of how they all look?
Weirdly, Timothy is not definitively a Brassborn. He's called a Brassborn, but Timothy is old model. So
okay.
To answer your question, very lifelike.
Very lifelike. So human.
Yeah. Anatomically, yes.
Jericho takes a moment of pause, and I believe as he's standing on Blair's shoulders, trying to lap or loop a length of rope over a hinge, trying to find some leverage for this endeavor that they're about to embark on. He notices the body of Judge Steele. The thing about this moment that pulls Jericho's attention is not what is looking so similar. How realistic Brassborn have become. The simulacra of it. How they can pass for actual humans in most scenarios. Jericho instantly dives into those moments that he's knows those things that aren't realistic. He knows in seeing this that this is machine because he knows what would be there if it was actually man with organs and gore. He knows the difference between a pipe and tubing and intestine and flesh. And he finds himself struck in this moment. Whereas he looks at this, he's not horrified so much as the sight of this, but the realization that he knows what could be there more than what is actually there. And then he comes to, and he loops the rope around the hinge. He pats Blair gently to move down, and he just continues to work quietly, softly. But there's now memories that are just walking with him.
As you climb down, almost in a time of just before you're able to kind of get your eyes underneath the square leftover pieces of window, you recognize the thing in front of you as not human, not flesh, and almost in response of words that you didn't say, you see just the slightest spark that dies. As you climb down, Blair, Timothy, collect the ropes, wrap it around, tie it to the horses. Ophelia, Rasa, Lysandra, you see as one by one people walk in. Filing in. With looks of anger, frustration, confusion, hope, happiness, elation. Sitting down in pews as if to hear a weekly sermon. Lysandra, Rasa, Ophelia, you've only truly met each other today, but looks are exchanged, knowing what might be coming. And the heavy weight of the responsibility of not only holding that information, but having to release it. The rest of these moments, we don't hear anything but the music playing as we see Jericho coaxing the horses, getting them to run, push, heave. And one by one, Lysandra, Rasa, Ophelia taking steps towards the pulpit. Heave, step, heave, step, heave, stepping up in front of the people. We see Clive opening his mouth, greeting everybody, trying to be all smiles. And we see his face turn towards Rasa. At the same time, Blair, Jericho, Timothy, coaxing the horses to pull one more time. The freight car tips, waits on the very edge. Rasa, you step forward. As you open your mouth, we see the freight cart slowly start to tip further. Towards the ground. Towards the desert. Off the tracks. We cut to black. And with that, we will end tonight's session. See you guys next week.